everyone. I am taking time out of your busy schedule to join me here today. And the folks who is on social media as well, thank you so much for joining me. So one thing I'll promise you, for the time that you take out from your busy schedule to join me, I will make sure every minute of your time is worth it. So that's my promise to you today, okay? So for those who don't know me, I am Janice Wight. I'm the sales manager for CMG Home Loans, and I'm one of the in-house lenders for Partnership Realty. So thank you all for welcoming me on your team. So my group, we call it the Wight Way team, and I'm the sales manager, as I said, for CMG Home Loans, and I'm licensed here in Florida as well as in Georgia. So I want to just introduce myself personally as well, so that you know me outside of the business world. So if you look at the photos there, the first one is a building. I like to travel. So outside of work, every opportunity that I have to travel, I take that opportunity. And you know one thing I like about traveling? I like to go to Europe because I love the buildings. I like architecture, I like form, I like strong foundations. And that is how my life is built as a building. So my father was a builder and a contractor, and that is where my passion for buildings came from. The picture in the middle, that's myself and my bestie. And whenever we have time, we spend time together. She came to spend some time with me on my birthday. And the one on the right, that's me and Lisa. And Lisa is in the house with us today. Lisa is the president of the Women's Council for Palm Beach County for 2025. And you see she wearing a bow tie and a pink shades because we are on October 3rd, we are having an awesome function. It's the Shades of Pink, the Kiss of Life, where we're going to be celebrating the lives of real estate agent who survived cancer. So, you know, it's always a great thing to support the Women's Council because they support us as well. So if you want a ticket, take the opportunity to speak to Lisa. She's in the house today, okay? Lisa, give them a wave. And the one below, that's myself. Again, Lisa, you're in a lot of my pictures. That's myself again. We were having, I have what we call Quantum Leap, where I do a training at the beginning of every year so that realtors could get their goals and their roadmap for the year. So even if you decide you want to make $5,000, $50,000, $1 million, the Quantum Leap is the starting to set your goal and give you that GPS to accomplish your year. A matter of fact, this year we had 2 Quantum Leaps. So I'll let you know when the next Quantum Leap is coming up. The picture in the middle, that's me again, just socializing with the Women's Council. I spend a lot of time with the Women's Council. So outside of the office, I spend a lot of time with them. I would be their vice president, the first vice president for 2026. So I am so happy to embrace that position. And my favorite picture, that's myself and my granddaughter. So I have been spending a lot of time with my granddaughter, and I've been traveling with her as well. And that is, we were in Germany, and I was taking her to the zoo. And one of the things that she thinks that I'm good at is to run. So everywhere we're going, we're supposed to be running. So we were running across the bridge there to go see the monkeys. So that's one of the part-times I've been doing, enjoying my granddaughter and her space. So let's get into what we're going to talk about today. So let me tell you a little bit about CMG Home Loans, the company that I represent. CMG is one of the 3 top mortgage lenders in the nation, and we are striving to be #1. We operate in 50 states, and we are a direct lender, and we have over 1,200 employees. We do direct Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and government lending. We do the purchases, refinance, conventional loan, VA loan, and USDA loan. I want to stop at USDA loan for a second, because this conversation we are having today is about making your money move. There is so much money around us out there that we don't recognize. And my purpose here today is to show you how to get some of that money out there and move it into your bank account. Anyone here could do with a little extra money in their bank account? Okay, so that would be my objective. So USDA loan, that is a loan that you do in some of the more rural areas. So people that's looking for bigger land size, and now more than ever, we realize that a lot of buyers are removing themselves from the crowded area and moving north. So USDA loan is something that will help you to move that money into your bank account. Take advantage of it. It allows the buyer to buy with 100% financing, zero out of pocket. I was at the partnership awards dinner last December, and one of their top agents was concentrating in the Pahokee Belglade area because over there has a lot of opportunities for USDA. So you have to think outside of the box. So he took it upon himself to think outside of the box and focus on that area, and he was one of their top producers. We are the top 203K lender in the US. What is a 203K loan? Now, one of the things I want to point out here, I am telling you about these products not because I want you to be a mortgage broker. I want you to be aware what's out there. So when you're speaking to your customers and you hear the word renovation, oh, I know there's someone could help you with that. So the 203K loan is a renovation loan. And as I said, we are the top lender in the US for renovation loans. So if you have a client that you show a property, it's the ideal property in the ideal location, but something may be not to their liking. They may need to have a kitchen updated, or the bathrooms or the floor, whatever it is. Don't turn that away, because the 203K loan could make that property a really nice property for them. So that is an opportunity that is underutilized that could help you move your money. Portfolio loans. We do a lot of unique loans, and we also have our proprietary products. That means we create the products to suit the market. So we have products that could only be done with CMG because we went out and create those products for our clients. So you may have a client that was turned down by another lender. We would embrace those because we have unique products and proprietary products. I will touch some of our proprietary products when we go to the other pages. Another good highlight of CMG is that we service most of our loans. We service most of our loans. That means you take your application with us, you close with us, and you stay with us. So what that does for you, the good thing about us servicing the loan, when you refer a client to me, your name go on that file in the customer information. So whenever is that client's birthday, you get a notice. Whenever that clients inquire on anything pertaining to financing, you get a notice. So it's really awesome for us to be able to service most of our loans. We partner with our real estate agents. So we do our in-house processing, our in-house underwriting, and our in-house closing. The reason why we do that is because CMG is very high on customer service. It's about excellent, it's about extraordinary. So when we have everything under our roof, we're able to manage it better. Because I could call an underwriter and says, hey, that client is waiting. Could you look at that for me quickly? So it's really awesome when we have everyone in the same house. Okay, so my team, we refer to as the mortgage navigators. So my team is 5 strong. 5 strong. So I am Janice Wight, and I'm your chief navigator. Then I have Kate. Kate is my document navigator. So when I take the application and make sure we have a loan that is moving forward, I pass it on to Kate. Kate verifies everything, the employment, the income. She verifies everything to make sure that when we move it to processing, we have a file that would close. The reason why I do it that way, because when we take a file to underwriting and that file does not close, it costs us money, it costs us time, it's costly. So we do, and it affects my closing ratio. So it's important that we do all our due diligence upfront so that when we move that file to underwriting, we get it done. Mary and Miranda, they are my closing navigators. They handle the files with the underwriter to make sure we have all the conditions covered so that we could close smoothly. Jason Egan, he's my chief mate. He's the one that keeps us anchor. He's the one that, keep us all together. And if I'm out traveling, he covers and holds the ship together for me. So that's the 5 of us on the team. So even though I'm the face, the ones that you see all the time, I have a strong force in my back office. So I am going to share with you now some strategies that you could implement, some strategies that we use that will help you to make your money move. And remember, when we refer to moving your money, is meaning you going out there and take your share. Your share is out there waiting for you, okay? So one of the strategies that I have to ensure success is to do a strong pre-approval to give you that competitive edge. So if you have, and sometimes we have agents that have making an offer on a property, and that property may have multiple offers, and we help you to get your offer accepted. So for example, if you have a property that has multiple offers, we would even move the file one step further to underwriting and get a loan commitment. A loan commitment is almost as good as cash. So when you present that offer with your loan commitment, it gives you the competitive edge to get your offer accepted. Another thing that we are strong on is open communication. So as I mentioned before, once the loan comes in, everyone's name goes on the file, the title company, the real estate agent. So you are advised and you know everything that happens on that file simultaneously. When the appraisal is ordered, you are notified. When the file goes into underwriting, you are notified. When the appraisal comes out, if there is an issue, you are notified. So it's open communication all the way through. Another niche that we have here is we have deep market knowledge. I have been in the financing industry from 1983. So I have been around the block for a very long time. And everyone, the 5 of us in my group, together, we have over 100 years experience. So we have what it takes to make it happen for you. We have customized financing options, which I touch on, that we customize loans to suit the client. So if we get a client and their situation is not smooth, we could work that out and create something customized so that they could eventually close on a home. Responsiveness, client focus, that comes with our service, and we have a creative problem solving. So this is how it works. Every Wednesday morning, the entire team, 5 of us, get together and we go over every client transaction that's in our pipeline. So we all know what we are doing, what is the plan, how we're going to get this closed and get this closed on time. So we have a collective group working for you. I also do a lot of training. So one of my things that I'm big on is education, because I believe that the more educated the realtors are out there, it makes my life and my job easier. Okay, so this is how the Wight Way team at CMG invest in your success. So I'm going to tell you some of the programs and some of the trainings that we have that could help you create income, okay? So we did this training already. Some of you who missed it, it's on YouTube, so you could go back and view it. That was a training we do last month, being a different fish in the ocean of real estate. And that was about setting yourself apart from all the other real estate agents. In this crowded market, how you could set yourself apart and stand out. So you know each of you are unique in your own way. So even if we are all selling houses, you all are unique. So go back and look at that one, being different in the ocean of real estate. Now, quantum leap. I do that once a year, usually in the beginning of the year or just at the end of the year. Quantum leap is a 2-day training. And I partner with one of our in-house trainers, Greg DiCristofaro, and he comes out, and the quantum leap is 2 days of putting aside the cell phone and deep diving into what you want to accomplish. So what it does is a goal setting, and it focuses also on having your CRM working for you. When you have a goal and you have a vision and you know what you want to accomplish, and it makes it so much easier. So what Greg does is, if we have an agent wants to make $50,000, or one agent want to make $250,000, or some agents want to make $1 million, he will give you a roadmap, a GPS, what you need to do every day to accomplish your goal. And every quarter, we will do a renewing to see if you're on track and give you guidance. So I have done that program for myself in my business. So now I know the techniques, and I can share it with you to help you to create that GPS for your business. And you know what? It works for all businesses. If you decide to sell water on the side of the street and make money doing it, it's the same technique. So it fits into every type of business. See, the CE certification. So I am waiting on my CE certification approval. I should get it in the next 4 weeks or so. Once I get that, I would be able to do the CE training for realtors, so you get your credits. So that is coming. Now, we have training in-house that we invite our realtors to join in our in-house training as well. One of the training that we had recently was the hometown hero training. So that is a down payment assistant. And usually it comes out in the beginning of June, but this year it was late. It just rolled out recently. But a lot of people is not aware that this is up and functioning. You have where they would give you up to $35,000 that they could use towards their down payment and their closing costs. So I am going to deal with that on one of the other slides, but I just want to mention that training. We have another product called the Home Funded Workshop that we invite realtors to partner with us on our training platform. The Home Funded is one of our customized proprietary products, so you can't find that nowhere else. So what that does is, that is our crowdfunding program. So everyone could contribute towards you buying your home. Your friends, your neighbors, the people in your church, they all could throw up towards you buying your home. And we had this program for a while, and I never really paid much attention to it. However, I had a client a few months ago that signed up for the Home Funded. And within 30 days, they were able to raise so much money. And because they put my name in as a referring person, every time they get money, it rings, it clicks on my phone. So I would hear, cha-ching, cha-ching, and I'm like, what is this? And then I realized how powerful this thing is, and I'm starting to share it. So here's how you could use the Home Funded. If someone is having a baby shower, instead of bringing all these gifts for these babies that will grow out of them, they could contribute towards the family that's having the baby so that they could buy their house. So instead of they give you a gift list, let them give a home funded. That will also help you to build your CRM, because now you are putting that client into your CRM, and whenever they raise enough funds, they could go and buy the house. So you could use it for babies, showers, somebody getting married, anything at all. And our marketing department will help you to create the marketing so you could go out and sell that product. It's really, really awesome, because they cannot use that money to buy anything else but a home. Somebody got graduated from high school, from college or university, eventually they would want a home. So put them in your CRM and have them set up a home funded and start collecting money, and you are building your client base, because they must come back to you in order to use this money. Fair enough? Okay. List and lock. List and lock is another awesome tool. And that is really good for especially the agents, that's the listing agents. What that does is, instead of asking your seller to lower the price of the property, they use that money to buy the rate down. So if you reduce a property by $5,000, or you buy the rate down by 1 point with the same $5,000, there is such a huge savings in buying the rate down versus lowering the price of the property. So List and Lock is here to your rescue. So if you have properties that you have listed and not moving, you need to talk to me about List and Lock so that you could move more properties, get a happier buyer. So that's another awesome program that is one of our proprietary programs. Yeah. We also invite you to our renovation loan training as well. So you want to get into any of our programs, you just send me a message. I could send you out when we have in these programs, and I could send you the link so you could plug right in and be a partner with me in this training. Our all-in-one loan. Have anyone heard about all-in-one before today? Beautiful. So all-in-one loan, I consider it the little magic loan, because the first time I shared all-in-one with my CPA, he did not believe it. All-in-one is not for everybody. It's for the people that when they get their income, they have some money left over. So instead of having those long 30-year loans, you could pay off your all-in-one loan with the same income in a shorter space of time. It's the only loan that you pay on the principal before you pay the interest. So the people who is buying the high-end properties, they want no 30-year loan for a long time, especially self-employed people that have money in lump sum, and not every month they get money. This is the perfect fit for them. So join me in one of the all-in-one trainings so you could get all the nuts and bolts of how this works. Is really, really an awesome product. People is now calling and asking, do you do all-in-one? It's now becoming a conversation in the household, how powerful this product is. And I have my market movement. So once you on my CRM, I send you out the market movement once or twice a week. Is my newsletter. What market movement does, because we have people in our back office that all they're paid to do is to study the market and give us the vision of what's happening. So the market movement will tell me what's happening later down in the year, what's happening next year, what the market is expected to look like in 2026, so that I have a comprehensive understanding of what I need to do with my borrowers, because I have a good understanding of the market. So when there's a movement in the interest rate, when we expect that to happen, we know that ahead of time. So market movement, a lot of people, really thank me for getting this because it gives you so much insight. Because you in the real estate business, you have to understand what is happening in the market and around the world, because that affects real estate as well, okay? Okay, so I'm on to here, your smart solutions to make your money move. So I spoke about the 2 or 3 renovation loans already. So please think outside of the box now and use some of these products. This is how I do my marketing. I decide every month what to emphasize on. So at the end of the year, I know exactly what I'm going to cover, what I'm focusing on. So do that for yourself so you have constant flow of money. I have some agents that would have one transaction doing. And if that transaction goes wrong, they go into something they call, I'm depressed. No, you have to have several things going at the same time. You can't just have one egg in your basket. If it breaks, what happened? You'll be hungry. So have more than one transaction going at the same time. And if you want help to know how to find more than one transaction at the same time, I'm going to help you with that. So focus on the 2 or 3K loans. You could do, market that. You could be a 2 or 3K specialist, a renovation loan specialist, whatever it is, to attract your audience. We have the home style and the choice renovation. That is for lower income borrowers who wants to just buy a small house and have it fixed up and keep it forever. So we have renovation for those smaller homes as well. We also have the VA renovation loan. I am very passionate about VA renovation loan. And I'll tell you about the VA renovation loans. We have veterans that go out and serve, and they may come back injured. And then the home that they were living at, they were loving, and the place that they call home may need some changing around to make them comfortable, probably to wheelchair accommodation or what have you. So make use of the renovation loans and to help our veterans. They go out and serve us, so when they come back, we have to take care of them. So I'm very passionate about the VA renovation loans. We have also the 1099 loan, 1099, which is the 1099 only income loan. We have bank statement loans. The people that use bank statement loans more is the self-employed people. So you have some self-employed people that makes $1 million a year, but the tax return doesn't reflect that. They could still get a house. We use the bank statement, the deposit from their business, and we average that over 12 months or 24 months, whichever is more appropriate. So self-employed people, even though your tax return doesn't reflect it, you could still have a home. And that goes for real estate agents as well, because some of us, tax return doesn't reflect enough to purchase. We could do bank statements as well. So there's options. Then we have the DSCR, the debt service coverage loan. That is for investors buying investment properties, where the loan is just based on the income coming in once it services the debt, and you have a good credit score and you have 20% to put down, you are good to go. And you could buy up to 15 properties using the DSCR. So focus on your investors. Tell them, oh, we have a loan that is easy, that doesn't require all that paperwork. So get them into buying investment property. Once you have your primary resident, the next thing you should be doing is investment. We have the bond program. and the Hometown Heroes. Now, outside of the Hometown Heroes, there are other bond programs. So the reason why I'm sharing that is that your first-time home buyer could actually get into a home with very little money out of pocket. Are you aware of that? You could get into buying a home with very little money out of pocket. There is money out there. It's just how to get it. So you have a lot of, the Hometown Hero is a bond loan too, but we have other bond programs outside of the Hometown Heroes that they could benefit from. Because the Hometown Hero this year is for particular occupation. So you may have someone that needs down payment assistance and does not fall under that occupation, so you still could benefit from the bond programs. And that will give you the FHA 100% financing by adding bond loans to it to make up your down payment. So with first-time home buyers, they have a down payment assistance, they have some seller contribution, they could go get the keys with very little money out of pocket. That's one of the beauty about the first-time home buyer loans. Then I spoke about the all-in-one already, and then we have a special loan for medical professions. So like the doctors, the higher-end paying nurses, you could get a conventional loan with as little as 5% down and no mortgage insurance premium. So that is huge just for the medical profession. So they want to give back to the medical profession, so 95% no PMI. Now we also have the HELOCs and the bridge loan. Why do we use the HELOCs and the bridge loan? For example, if we have a borrower that want to upsize, buy a bigger home, but they own this one and they want to purchase this one, you could do a bridge loan, a bridge between this property and that. So you get the equity out of here, you go, you buy your new home, and they would give your realtor up to 6 months to sell this home, and you don't have to make the payment, and this debt isn't calculated, it wouldn't affect your debt to income ratio. So the bridge loan is an awesome, awesome instrument for people who want to buy a bigger house or that kind of stuff. So, and again, I'm telling you, I am not telling you all this because I want you to go do mortgages. I want you to be aware of what out there and how you can market yourself to make more money. Okay. Then we have the construction loan, so people who own their land and they want to build that unique property. The luxury market now is doing a lot of their own construction, and then we have the jumbo loans and that kind of stuff. So that is just some of the things that we have. It's like going to a buffet where you have a bit of everything on your platter, and all these here, once you're mindful of it, and you create your marketing, and you have an awesome marketing team. You create your marketing, you could go out there and make money. There is so much money out there, it's unbelievable. So if your bank account is not bulging at the side, you need to get out there, okay? Because there's money out there for you. So let me just zero in a little bit about the Hometown Heroes, because this is what we have right now, and this is what they have available funds, and this is something that you could use. Now, one of the things that I recommend for realtors to do with these products is have webinars. Instead of you calling one client and have one conversation, you have many conversations. So instead of me coming to Ajim and telling about the products, and come to Laura and tell her about the products, I have you all together and the people on the social media looking in as well. So I'm talking to many at the same time. You know how much easier that it is than doing one-on-one? And that will help you to have more than one transaction. So do webinars. Now, some of you may say, I don't know what to do. I've never done a webinar before. You just have to do it the first time. The last webinar that I did for Realtor, we got about 5 applications one Saturday morning. And the thing about it is, the most she did for the webinar was introduce me. And I gave her a list. This is when you speak, this is what you say, and this is how you say it. And she had 5 borrowers that day. So do webinars. You cannot succeed in a vacuum. You have to come out and do what you need to do. So webinars is a very good thing. Now, when you do your first webinar, it may not be the perfect one, but that's okay. The borrowers are not looking for you to be perfect. They just want you to be authentic, be real. That's all. They're not looking for you to be perfect. So do webinars. Now, when I started doing webinars, you know how I did it? And I'm going to share that secret with you. I decided what I want to share, and I video myself. I video myself speaking. And then I said, I don't like this one. I'll change it. And then I turn off the audio, and I look at myself moving. And then you realize, oh, I can't be playing with my hair, or I can't be doing this. So you look at yourself and you improve. That's what life is about, improving. So don't judge yourself and say, I am not going out there because I'm not ready. Because if you wait to get ready, Hometown Hero would be gone. Because it's only 50 million and now it's going faster. So get out there and I'm going to help you. So the Hometown Hero 50 millions is available. They would give you up to 5% or 35,000. For those who are doing the smaller loans, you will have, the minimum that you'll get is 10,000. The Hometown Heroes gives you the lowest interest rate for first-time home buyers on this market. So take advantage of it. They also increase the median income, so families with higher income could qualify. This year, they have specific occupations, so I'm going to email you out all the occupations so you could focus on which one you want to work with. So when you get that list from me, you have the teachers, the fire officer, the police, the this, the that, the child care worker, a whole long list of occupations. Sit down and write down a name next to each person that you know in that occupation and start calling. We are in the last quarter of 2025. In 2025, right? Yes. We are in the last quarter. The last quarter is the opportunity to make the money that you haven't made all year. So there is something special about the last quarter. So get busy. It's September. You have October, November, December to get the income that you had on your goal chart for 2025. The Hometown Hero also, the second loan, is a 30-year loan, 0 interest, no monthly payment. The only time you have to pay it back is if you sell the house, if you transfer the deed, if you're no longer living in it as your primary residence, or if you refinance. Otherwise, there is no repayment. Okay, so these are some of the ideas that I have to share with you so that it will give you a framework. And some of you may be doing this already, but just for those who hasn't gotten off the fence, with the Hometown Hero, this is what you could do to make some money, okay? Let your money move. Take the occupation list, you identify and engage with the eligible professions. Some of you may have kids in school, they have teachers. Some of you may have kids in sports, they have coaches. Reach out to the occupation and maximize it. Host educational workshop. So you have some teachers joining you on a Saturday morning, you have coffee and crackers, and you tell them about the Hometown Heroes. You create target social media campaign. So you're going to do social media campaign targeting the groups you want to focus on. You don't have to focus on all. You pull out what you want to do, you know? You pull out the ones you want to focus on. Collaborate with local heroes. So you go where the local heroes are having engagements and engage with them. Network together. Network together. I will network with you when you have your webinars so that we could together will deliver a seamless home buying experience for your buyers. Okay, fair enough? Highlight your success stories. When you have a closing, celebrate your buyer and let everyone knows what you're doing. Have you ever invited somebody to have lunch with you and they said, oh, I just closed on a home and it wasn't you? Because how does that feel? Because you should be out there letting everyone knows what you do. It's not a secret. Don't keep yourself a secret. You cannot succeed in a vacuum. Virtual tours and open house. Now, this weekend I asked an agent, would you like to do an open house? And their response was, open houses don't sell homes. I don't want to do that. So let me tell you something about open houses. Do you have any idea who comes to open house? Buyers. Buyers come to open house. They may not buy the house that you're showing, but you have to have a conversation with them. Oh, welcome in, welcome. And what you're looking for today? And they look at the house and you find out what they're looking for. Are you working with a real estate agent? No. Okay, I may have some that will fit your exact needs. So you would not have that conversation with a buyer if you're sitting at home in front of the television eating potato chips. It makes you fat. You have to get out there and do what you need to do. You know what I was thinking? You see that thing they call a television? This is what we're supposed to have television screens to do. So when somebody walks in your house, they see the houses that you sell. Not sitting down in front of the television and looking at wealthy people and you don't have enough money in your bank account. That's not a smart idea. Real estate, you should be so zero in on what you're doing. So open houses, the people that walks in there may also have a property to sell because they're relocating. So you would have a buyer and you would have a seller. So do open houses, okay? You know who I'm talking about. Yeah, so open house is a good idea to get yourself out there, right? So on weekends, I like to just go out and, fill in and help the agents with their open houses as well. So as we on this, let me just make sure I cover everything. Okay, right, okay. So let me just share something with you. Let me just get off, we have time, and just get off this note for a minute. I want to really zero in on what is this thing success is all about. Why should you want to be successful for you? What does success really means to you? Do you know that with a real estate license, you could make as much or even more than the heart surgeon if you use it the right way? You didn't have to go to school for 7 years to get that real estate license, but you out there in the market, you told me you were there for 25 years. You're out there in the market and you have the experience. So don't put yourself in a vacuum. Go out there and be successful. I'm going to take a minute and share my story. So this is what happened. As you all hear my accent, I'm an island girl. I'm from the islands. I'm from a very small island. And I had a situation where I grew up on a farm. My father was a farmer. He was a contractor. And I grew up in a situation where, unfortunately, I was abused by my mother. So what I did, I decided to get married very early to escape. But that was a bad idea. Because I moved from one bad situation into another. But what happened out of that bad situation? I got a son. And now that I had a son out of a bad relationship, I had something that I was responsible for. So when I got divorced, I did not have a place to call home. And this will tell you why I'm so passionate about real estate. I did not have a place to call home. So I went back to my estranged mother and I said to her, could I stay here for a while until I get my feet on the ground? She said, how long would that take? I have no idea. Just going through a divorce, have no money. I have no money. So she said no. And that was the best answer she gave me. She said, however, the washroom outside, you could stay there until you get the feet on the ground. And that was the best situation I was put into. So I found myself into this 4x4 washroom in the back of the house. And if you know anything about farm life in the islands, we had a lot of snakes. So I experienced one night I was sleeping, and this thing called a snake, long, cold, slippery, and wet, glided across my stomach. You have any idea how that felt? And here am I in this little room with my son, trying to sleep and don't want a snake to get him. So I have him wrapped in swaddles, and I'm sleeping halfway. And the restroom did not have any windows, and it didn't have any doors. So I have to cover it with plastic to keep him as warm as I could. So what I did the best thing that I could do in this situation. I started to pray. And I said, God, I don't know how I get here, but I need a divine intervention to get me out of here. So I gave myself, I had enough time to think because you're hardly sleeping, so I had enough time to think. So I gave myself 3 months. But what I did was I went and applied for a mortgage. I didn't expect to qualify for a mortgage because I had high debts. I was a banking girl, and you're driving nice cars, and you broke like whatever. But that was where I was. So when I applied for this mortgage, I applied at the bank that I was working. And I was turned down because everybody in there knew my business. So what I did now, I went to the other island and I applied for a mortgage. And that girl said to me, this look a bit risky, you know, but in order for you to get the house, you have to put down $70,000 for your debt-to-income ratio to work. $70,000, I could hardly buy a bread. What is she talking about? So I said to her, you know what? How long could you hold the application for? She says, you go and figure it out and call me when you're ready. I said, okay, great. I didn't have a clue what I was doing because when you're going through a divorce, your head don't function too straight. So I was in that zone. But my commitment was to get a home for my son. I'm going to do whatever it takes. In 3 months, I came up with $70,000. But I'm not going to tell you what I do to get it. That's a different story. But I didn't do anything illegal. I came up with $70,000. And I went back, and on my 23rd birthday, I got the keys to my first house. You know how many bedrooms that house had? 5 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. You know why I bought that house? Because I wanted to show my ex-husband that I have grit. That is what success is all about. Do what it takes to get what you want. As long as it's legal and just, get out of your comfort zone and do what you got to do. If I, in a situation of a divorce, no money, walking around, when I go to work, everybody think I had it together and I was losing my mind. Had nothing, but I was placed in a 4x4 and had to find myself out because I have a responsibility. That's how you have to look at your real estate business. Money is not just money. It changed your life, your family life, your children's life, and your generation. So you owe it to yourself to get out of your comfort zone and do what you got to do. I do mortgages because I enjoy doing it. Because the way how that girl made me feel when I walk in to get a mortgage, I want to give everybody else that experience. I don't tell anybody no. I show you what you got to do and what it takes to get a key. Because the most successful you could be is when you have your own roof over your house, over your head. So regardless of what it is, do what you got to do, okay? Success is important. Everyone's supposed to be successful in this lifespan because that is what you were created for, all right? So let's get back to the subject. At CMG, we have another product called Rate and Rebound. What is Rate and Rebound? Rate and Rebound is to take the excuse of the interest rate is too high. The Rate and Rebound take that off the table. So we refer it as dating the rate. So CMG would give your buyer a certificate when they close for a Rate and Rebound. Anytime that rate goes down more than half of a point, they could roll over to the lower rate. And they could do that as many times up to 60 months. So right now it's a buyer's market. The window of the buyer's market is still open. So what do? You go out there and you get your buyer on contract. You get the best price, the seller contribution, and you get them under contract. They have 5 years to roll over to a lower rate when and if the rate goes lower. Now, with the Rate and Rebound, you have no appraisal fees, no processing fees, no underwriting fees, no origination fees. All lender fees are waived. So you have no excuse, the client have no excuse to say, okay, the interest rate is too high. Because you have Rate and Rebound, you could roll over. So when the rates go down, you already have the property for the best price on the market. So I am inviting you to partner with me so that we could go out there and change lives and change the world, making this a better place for you and I to live. We do what we call a co-branding. So if you send me your headshot, your logo, your information, we could co-brand and do marketing together. I know some of you have your marketing team, that's awesome. I'll just give you the framework and you could take it to your marketing team and they could create it for you the way you would like it, all right? So we could co-brand together so that we could work together doing our webinars, going out there, changing lives, one client, one customer, one family at a time. So that's the end of my presentation. I ask you if you could follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'm open to your questions. Thank you. Okay. It's a FHA product, so it falls under the FHA limits based on the location of the property, the FHA limits for location. So you know, like we have FHA limits for Broward, Palm Beach, Miami, right? So it falls under that same limit. So if you buy a property, you could go up to the maximum renovation based on the limit of where the property is located. You got it? So, no. So you have the simplified 203K, which you go up to 35,000. That's a simplified one. However, there's another one that you could go higher than that. Now, the purchase price of the property plus how much you're taking out for the loan cannot exceed the FHA limit for the area. You got it? So you have to keep it within the FHA. You have a question? Okay, so you know what? Let me give you all the sign-in sheet. And could you just pass this around for me, please? And could you just write next to it, put your email address clearly, right next to it, so that I prefer, even though I have flyers, I prefer to email it out, because on the email has the calculator that you could play around. Even on the all-in-one, it has a calculator, so you could take your mortgage and put it in there and see how you could pay off your mortgage, so you're more familiar. That's the reason why I like to kind of email them out to you. Okay? Any other questions? Ajin, what about you? You good? Ready to do the open house? Oh my goodness. Okay, I got you. I got you.
So they found a house up there, but still have it.
Okay, so let's look at the list and lock, and we'll put it in the calculator so you could see. And the nice thing about list and lock too, they do the marketing for you. So it's out on all the social medias with the offer that the seller gives. So you get, your property comes ahead because of the amount of marketing that they will do on the list and lock. So that's a good thing about it as well, the marketing that comes with the list and lock. So it really, really helps you to zero in and move that property. Yeah, I'll reach out to you and find out which one of the programs that you're interested in marketing, and I'm going to send you that by email and the videos and everything so that you could learn more. Because right now, I went through just the surface of the products, but if there's a product that you want to zero in on, I'll send you videos and flyers on it so you could read up and ask me questions and give you a framework of what you could do to effectively market that product. Got it? Okay, so let me answer that question. As I said, all you're doing is knowing the products and bringing the clients to me. I do all that numbers. I make it easy for you. You just have to say, oh, I heard she talk about that renovation loan. Let me introduce you. So all this information is to just make you aware, but all the numbers and the fixing and how it will really work, I would take care of that. You had a question in the back.
Yeah, for a bank statement loans,
So we take whatever represent income. So somebody may have, and we go through the bank statement line by line, so we know what represents income. So if, for example, you are a landscaper, but somebody wired you $30,000 one time last year because you sold a car in a different country or whatever, that is not considered your income. So we go through your bank statement line by line, and we take your income that goes in, and then we average you average it, and that represents your salary.
But you guys take the 100% of the...
Yes. So we had a client last month, and he was doing construction, but his tax return did not reflect the money. However, every month when he gets contracts, that goes into his account. So even though his tax return reflects that he was operating at a loss, his bank statement showed that he was making $24,000 a month. So he was able to get into his $600,000 home. So the bank statement is really, really awesome tool, an option. Because sometimes too, even though the bank statement loan interest rate may be a bit higher, it still is beneficial. It still is beneficial. Mm-hmm.
And what is the
10% down. Yes, 10% down with a good credit score. All right?
what is the
680 or higher for bank statement, so you get the better pricing. And let me just answer something on credit scores. Like I have a guy that Ajim is working on that started with me a month ago, and he wanted to do the DSCR, and he came in with his application at a 645 credit score. As of yesterday, was at a 680. So credit score, we have the tool that we plug it in, and it gives you that analysis, and if you follow it directly, you will get the scores. So that's why I don't like to turn away anybody. If you can't qualify today, here is a roadmap how to get there. Okay, all right. So the chef for Partnership Realty has prepared lunch for us. So there's a nice lunch waiting over there. So I would definitely like you all to come and join me and have lunch. I saw the menu, it looks very delicious, and he's a very good cook. So I want you all to join me over there and have lunch. So I want to thank you all so much for joining me. Next time we're going to have one again next month. I'll let you know what the topic is. But today's topic was about making the money move. Let's go out there and create some success, okay? So thank you all so much for joining me, and thank the people that's on social media that also join us today. Thank you so much.